Very good evening, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Leadership Satsang. I'm your leadership coach, Yukti Kapoor Mehndi Datta, warmly welcoming you to this open house session that we have on the last Tuesday of every month. And this is your opportunity to ask any challenge that you're facing, wherever you feel you're stuck. Let us together find ways to unstuck you from there so that you can take off and get to where you so deserve to be. You know what? We don't have to figure out everything on our own. We don't have to prove anything to anybody. No one has ever been successful without the support of many other people around. If there is anybody who claims to do that, is purely simply lying, because it's not possible. You can't even eat food without realizing how many people go behind getting that food on your table. It is not just about your capacity to pay for it. It's about many more people who are a part of that process and ecosystem who got that food ready to be bought by you and then presented on your table. If you agree with that, say agree in the chat very, very quickly. Do you agree that nobody can be successful stand alone? So let's stop proving that. There is no merit in it. Nobody is going to give you a special trophy for it. You will only be wasting not just your time, but your lifetime. And if you want to do more with your lifetime, then drop the need to prove and start living with purpose. When you live with purpose, you will not feel the need to prove. You will be more willing to get the support required for you to live that purpose, to make that purpose come to life, whatever that purpose is. And the purpose doesn't have to be world peace, okay? It can be anything that helps you to contribute to this world that you're a part of. It could be the community that you're part of, or a family that you're willingly, lovingly wanting to support and give them the best, not just in terms of what money can buy, but also in terms of how you want them to be brought up, how you want to create an environment that nourishes every soul that's a part of your environment. Are you understanding what I'm saying? What a lovely purpose to have. If you could enrich one more life other than yours before you call quits and move on to the next realm of life, like till you are alive, can you add real value to someone else's life? Isn't that a purpose to live for? It's a beautiful purpose. So we will probably talk about purpose some other day, because it's so important to understand what it truly means. There's so much confusion around it because there is just too much information. And a lot of that information is misguided, is baseless, it's meaningless. I'm sorry, I'm going to say it exactly how I see it. It's so meaningless. We have overcomplicated the entire concept of purpose because it suits us. It suits a lot of other people who would like to complicate things before they charge you for simplifying it further. If you look at it closely, it is pretty simple. Anything that adds meaning to your life is a purpose to live for. And if you're led by a purpose, then proving is not needed. You can just throw it out of the window. Not needed. And when proving is not needed, asking for help becomes very easy. Just put your hand up and say, you know what? I need support. I'm stuck here. I want to find out what I need to do. I want a mentor. I want a coach. I want a friend. I want a sounding board. I don't know what to do. Maybe I don't know what I want. Maybe I need support to understand what I want. But if I have the humility to ask for help, I'll have the courage to live for the purpose that adds meaning to my life. Make sense? Yeah, if it does, then say makes sense in the comments, please. I love reading your comments later on. Because this is live stream, I'm not able to see, comments immediately. There's always a little bit of a lag, and I hope technology gets to a point where in my lifetime, I'm able to see all this a little more streamlined. But that doesn't take away how we feel connected every single time we're here for Leadership Satsang sessions. So thank you so much for joining in week after week after week and making this such a success. When I started, I never thought it's going to run 80 episodes. And now that we are on the 80th one, I don't see 100 too far. I don't even see 100 as a big deal, right? So it's just yet another episode week after week. As long as you keep bringing in the challenges that you're facing, there will never be an end to the way I can find ways to support you. But before I pick up those challenges for today, we need to bring ourselves into this moment completely, as we always do. And what we do is to chant Om together 5 times. Right? In your own time and space, you could do it for longer. But for now, let us chant Om 5 times together. Please know it is not a religious chant and there is no religious connotation to it. It is a pure spiritual universal sound that aligns all the inner chakras through the vibrations that you create through your nasal, through your voice box. Right? So when you chant Om, you inhale, and as you exhale, you chant with the 3 syllables that come together, A, O, Ma. A, O is recited in the first half of your exhalation, and the second half is M. And when you say M through your vocal cords, you should be able to feel the vibrations down till your solar plexus, the chakra below your chest and above your navel. Let's make an attempt to do that. So please straighten your spine. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Relax your shoulders, relax your shoulders. And close your eyes. You want to keep your glasses aside, you could do that. If you have anything tight around your waist, you want to loosen up a bit, absolutely do that. And if your environment allows for you to chant out loud, please do that. Let's close your eyes and breathe in and out a few times. I'll tell you when to start and I will keep the count for you. Let's breathe in. And with the next breath, let's chant together. Om. 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 Shanti. 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 And whenever you're ready, rub your palms together. Place them on your eyes and ears and face and neck and your entire body and slowly come back. All right. Tell me, are you 100% here right now? If you are, then give me 100% in the comments, please. Let's see you write 100%. You're 100% here with me, with yourself, considering this to be your me time. That's what you need to give yourself. If there's any gift you can give to yourself, not once a year, but as often as you can in life, it should be some more me time. Some more me time. Wonderful. Great. All right. So where are you joining me from today? I will open it for questions very soon. I already see one question, Rayudu. I'm going to start with yours. But let's see, where are you joining me from today? Naveen, so good to have you here. PC, wonderful. Mahesh, good to have you. Welcome, Saurabh. Welcome, Tushar. Good to have you here. Dinesh, so good to have all of you here. Deepthi, welcome. Welcome, everyone who's joined me here. So good to see you. Wonderful. From Bangalore, from Delhi, Pune, lots of different locations, different parts of the country or maybe world. Thank you so much for joining in, Ajinkya, and everyone else who's made time. Please make your presence felt and do put your comments and your questions in the chat. With whatever limited time we have, I might not be able to take all your questions, but I will definitely go in the order in which you are asking them. So Vishnu, welcome from Pune. Good to have you here. All right, so here is the question, Rayudu. I'm reading what you've shared here. Which ladder will get financially freedom, more earnings, peaceful mind? Either leadership ladder, CXO, etc., or technical mastery ladder, even though both are needed at specific time. Okay, so I remember answering this question for you, Rayudu. I think you're asking this question in the interest of everyone else who could not be part of our ULM Spiritual Leadership Retreat and therefore could not learn from the answer that I shared. So the question here is, where do I find more peace, more financial freedom? Should I be focusing on my leadership skills or should I be focusing on my technical skills? Because there are certain areas, certain industries where technical knowledge is required more than many other industries where it's not so technical. Having said that, what we have to understand is no matter how technical your industry is, when you are at a mid-management or beyond, your work is to get work done. You are managing people who are supposed to be experts in their domain. Having said that, you need to have the necessary technical knowledge yourself. How will you lead them if you don't know what is the right direction? You need to know the right direction, and that's when you can show that direction to people. So should you be upgrading your technical knowledge? Absolutely, yes. But is it between this or leadership? That's a question to look at more closely. So let's see if we can draw an analogy here. Technical skills could be understood as your limbs, like your hands and your legs and your feet. So these are the limbs that helps you to perform your day-to-day tasks. And that's what technical skills are there for. But leadership is like the blood in your body. And the blood has to keep flowing for the hands and legs to do their bit. The blood is part of everything that the body does. It controls the entire functioning of the body till we are alive, isn't it? That's how leadership works. Leadership is behind, in the front, and in the middle of everything that you do. The way you speak, the way you connect, the way you negotiate, the way you understand, the way you listen, everything that you do, the way you decide and how you decide, how you understand or are being understood, all of that is to do with leadership. So leadership is the blood of your body and the technical skills are the limbs. Without the blood, the limbs can only work to the extent that they can on the stored energy. The moment the blood is off the body is dead. Without leadership, growth is dead. Without leadership, there can be no way for us to understand the real meaning of peace. What do you mean by peace, first of all? Peace is not waiting at a certain level on the corporate ladder. Absolutely not. Let me tell you that. In fact, people might swear on their life saying, they might, bet on their life saying that there is actually lesser and lesser peace as you go up. But that's also the way they see it. I don't think that's a universal understanding of peace. Peace lies within us. It can be from the time you understand that connection with yourself till the time you can retain and sustain that connection. You understand what I'm saying? So there is no age to building that connection with yourself. Though sooner the better, of course. But if peace is what you're looking for, then you need to look within. And I'm sorry if it sounds esoteric, but there is no other way. There is no other way to understand peace. One thing that is there for sure is the fact that it is not outside of you. It is not dependent on the level of success that you will enjoy financially or socially. It's about how you experience every single event of your life, every single moment of your life. How do you live that? That is what will help you to get closer or further away from peace. It is very much within your circle of influence. That's where I take you back all the time, because that's where you've got to be. Your circle of influence are things that you can impact, that you can influence. You cannot decide how people will speak to you beyond a point, but you can decide how you will receive it, how you will respond to it, how you will learn to stand up for yourself, how you will learn to let go and move on, to restore that peace, which is the most important thing for you, if it is. And so it has nothing to do with what technical skills you can possibly acquire. Technical skills will probably help you to perform better if you know them better. And as you perform better, you get opportunities to get that performance level from other people, where leadership comes in big time. And as you go up the ladder, leadership takes over more of your capabilities and abilities than technical know-how. But none of this gives you any guarantee of peace. The reason why you use the word peace tells me that that's where you are feeling a little lost. That where do I find peace? I work every day. I work endlessly. I work relentlessly. And I'm not anywhere close to peace. Maybe because I'm looking at it outside, in the appreciation that I might get for all my hard work, or in the money that will help me to uplift my lifestyle. And then people will respect me more. And then I will get more peace. If that was true, then the peace that we see on the face of an infant would not have been possible ever. Isn't it? You see these little kids who haven't even learned how to speak. And there is this eternal peace, that expression on their face and in their being. They're very relaxed till such time they need basic necessities like food and being clean. That's all they need. And beyond that, there is absolute peace, because they haven't yet learned how to give into their mind. That we learn when we grow up, unfortunately. That's the learning that we pick very early on in our life. How to get out of our own peace, how to give it away to people, how to hand over our remote control to other people and then play on their tunes, and totally lose that ability to take charge of our mind. Right? We make the mind the master, and then we spend the rest of the life figuring out how to get this charge back, how to get a grip on my own life. And then what do? We expect people to help us with that in terms of how we think they should behave. If you talk nicely to me, I will be peaceful. If I get love from this world, I will be peaceful. If I get what I deserve for my hard work, I will be peaceful. The more conditions you have on your peace, the further away you are from it. That much more difficult it's going to be for you to experience it in real sense. It also does not necessarily mean letting go of materialistic pleasures. Right? You enjoy all the pleasures you want, but don't make that as a condition to experience peace, because that can happen anytime you want it to happen. In fact, you can be in that state all the time while you do whatever else you do. And that is the whole practice of spiritual leadership, learning to be in the moment, how to do and be at the same time. You can keep doing, but you need to be while you're at it. Be in the moment, in your being, in the present. Like right now, if you're completely here listening to me, this is meditative. If you're immersed in music and you forget the concept of space, time, you're just completely immersed in it, that's meditative. Any meditative state helps you to be in the moment, where you're not thinking about what has happened already, and also not planning about what you think should happen, or the fears attached to what might just happen. When you are just here. And it's only in that moment that you can create a new experience. And that new experience, that newness, which is so missing in our life, because if you think about it closely, you'll realize that for a long time you haven't had a new experience. New experience does not mean your first bungee jump. That's not the new experience. New experience is when you don't define how you're going to experience the next moment. Think about what I'm saying. Most of the times, we define it. We pre-decide. How are we going to experience every next experience coming in life? Basis the past experiences. Until you change that, till you stop that flow, you cannot change the flow of your life. If you want to change the flow of your life, you need to stop the past dictating your present. If you've got the answer, then say got it in the chat, right? I've really gone to the depth of it because we really need to get to that level to understand what you're asking. So in terms of leadership versus technical, well, it's not versus, it's leadership and technical. Over a period of time, more leadership than technical. And if it's about peace, well, we've talked about it. And I hope you've got the insight that you were looking for, or you do. Thank you for that very beautiful and powerful question. If it was useful for you, then please say useful in the chat. Mangesh, Gokul, if you found it useful, please say useful, and do share your takeaways. I would love to know. I would love to know, what are you taking away from this session? Yeah, got it, Deepti, super. Thank you. Thank you, Premraj. Thank you. Glad you're here. All right, so I see one more question. We have another 5 minutes to go, so let me make an attempt if it is a quick one. Gokul, you're asking how to prioritize the right problems to solve first. Should I focus internally or externally? Interesting question. How to prioritize the right problems to solve first. Okay, so let's just closely look at the word right. What is a right problem for you might not be so right for somebody else. Right and wrong are very subjective, right? What is right for me might appear wrong to you. But as long as it's right for me, I know that in some way it is aligned to my values. It's in some way it is adding up to the purpose that leads me in my life. So it is right for me. I'm okay with that. At one point, I will challenge that also. If you have the courage to walk the path of spiritual leadership, I will challenge your right. But for now, I'm taking it on the face value and I'm saying, all right, you think this is the right, this is what you would call as a right decision. Let's go with your understanding of what is the right decision in your life. Now, how do you decide for that decision that will feel right for you? If that's the question, the answer lies in the impact of making that decision. If you make that decision now, what will be the immediate impact of that decision? Not just on you, but in that entire world around you, right? The inner world that comprises of people you love, people who are loved by you, people you work with, right? All these are part of your inner circle. How is this decision going to impact my life as I'm living it now, personally and professionally? How is this decision going to impact the next 6 months from now, the next 1 year from now, the next 5 years from now? I need to get to that level of detailing to decide which decision should I prioritize. Having said that, we make a lot of decisions on daily basis anyway. Now there are some numbers attached to it, and I don't care about what that number is, whether we make 6,000 decisions in a day or 60 decisions in a day, we make a lot of decisions. When we have to halt and look at a certain situation and think, oh my God, should I decide upon this now or later? That probably is one of those important decisions which you think might change the course of your life. Right, Gokul? That's why this question is coming in, that, okay, how do I decide what to decide? How do I prioritize the right problems? The problems which will have maximum impact on my today and tomorrow, whether I see tomorrow as the next 6 months or 1 year, I leave that to you. I would go as far as maybe the next 3 years, if not 5, and see how this decision is going to impact. That's a problem to solve today, if that answers your question. Is it internal or external? I think any decision making that we indulge in has to resonate internally with our own values first. If they are against your values, I use the word value very carefully because it's another word that is not understood clearly by people. Not many understand what is the real meaning of value, especially your core values. We've talked about it in the previous satsang sessions. Please make time to go through it. If you're joining me now or you recently got connected with this platform, and thank you for doing that. But there are many, many more episodes that we have learned from together, and I would love you to go back to it. And we did one on just core values, and that will help you to identify your values. Whenever you go against your values, you will be far from your eternal peace. You will not experience peace. And when you don't feel peaceful, there is not too much joy, even from the success that you might achieve. You understand? It's that feeling that says, everything is right, but I'm not feeling right. Like everything looks very good on the face of it, and people are rejoicing in my success, but something is off internally. And that something is a conflict at a value level for you. That is what defines your right and wrong. Right? So should a decision be made internally? Absolutely, yes. First internally, and then it can be shared externally as in a form of a consultation that you might want to invite from someone who you look up to as a mentor or a coach or an advisor or a well-wisher, right? And you want to bounce it off for another perspective, because all the perspectives that we all have for ourselves in life are limited. No matter who you are, you could have done 5 PhDs or more, you still have one perspective, your own perspective, and there are multiple perspectives that exist. Even if you've elevated your ability to add a few more perspectives to how you see a situation, there are many more that have yet to be learned. Do you agree? Give me agree in the comments if you understand what I'm saying here. There is always one more perspective that can come into the picture, and that is when discussions help. That is when we create diversity in our groups. So people from different parts of the world, different kind of background, they all can come and share their perspectives. And those perspectives together create a little more holistic understanding of the situation. And that's what makes decisions a little more effective. Simple. Not every decision has to be brought to that level where it needs to be presented on the table for 40 people to share their views. But a few decisions are that sensitive in nature that will probably impact many more people. And so they should have the right to share their perspective. Fun fact. Just by giving them the opportunity to share their perspective, it is easier to arrive at consensus, even if you don't accept their point of view. Even if you actually do the contrary to what they're suggesting. The fact that they were given a permission, like the permission to speak and share how they feel or what they think, people are already included. There's a sense of ownership in the results that we will get from this decision. And that ownership is needed. Because if you're the only owner of the decision, it's very, very difficult to get the desired results. Almost impossible. Because you can't be the only executor of it. You can decide, but you would need more people to come in, right? And do what's needed to be done in that direction. So for that, we need to establish that ownership and accountability first. I don't know the level of situation that you had in mind with this question, Gokul, but I've tried to cover various levels to give you a little more holistic understanding of how decisions need to be made and can be made to ensure that they are more effective. And for that, we need to ensure that they are more inclusive, right? When you want to be exclusive, you have to learn to be inclusive first. Get people with you, get them with you. Nobody can be successful alone. Remember that. That's what we started the session with. And that's how I would like to conclude, because that's all the time we have. But we have a lot more time every single week, 30 minutes of learning, 30 minutes of insights in the space of leadership and spirituality. If you have questions that you would like to ask, then write to me. Write to me on my email address, Yukti, Y-U-K-T-I, Yukti, @sbyacademy.com. SBY stands for Silhouette by Yukti. That's the name of my company. sbyacademy.com. Yukti at sbyacademy.com. Put your questions and I will do my best to take them on one after another in the weeks to come. Till then, please take some time out to share your takeaways. If you found this to be useful, if there are some more insights you would like to share, what has worked for you when it comes to decision making? What's your perspective on technical versus leadership skills? Please do share what helps you to experience peace and what are some of your practices that helps you to create this internal connection with the self. I would love to know. So let's keep bringing that in. Until I see you next week, take very, very good care of yourself. Thank you so much for being here once again. God bless you all. I'll see you soon.